Hello and welcome to the Daily Forex Report for November 28th. We're looking at the pound US dollar pair during today's session on the 15-minute time frame. Just to kind of show you something to look for, we have a W formation right here. Very, very clear sign. You're going to look to go into this trade as it starts this next leg up, that last leg up. And in this particular case, it just continued to move to the upside. The nice thing about these is you have a good risk to reward. Even if you go in late and put your entry here, you're still going to have a great risk to reward. Just to take a look at this, we have a high here. If you put your stop loss down here, that's about 15 pips, and it went as high as 42. Closed around 37. Definitely could get a 1-to-1. Definitely a 1-to-1, possibly even higher than that on a regular basis. If you did a 2-to-1, you'd be out at about 30 pips, which occurred right about here. So make sure to look for these W formations, especially when the market potentially could turn. This is the beginning of the U.S. session right here, this green bar. And so we know potentially the market could turn around if we see a W formation to the upside. We're looking for it. Now to the downside, if you have an M formation, it's the exact opposite. You're looking for it to move lower, even off of this low here. If it moved lower, you were able to, even if you got in a little bit late and used the higher stop loss point of resistance, you're looking at 17 pips, maybe as high as 18 pips worth of stop loss. It went as low as 38. So M's and W's you want to keep an eye on. The W's, typically you're going to the upside. Your M's, you're going to the downside. Okay, now as far as news announcements go, let's take a look at that real quick. At 1:45 a.m. Eastern, we have the Swiss releasing their gross domestic product for the third quarter. Consensus on that is that it has moved up from a negative 0.1% up to a positive 0.2%. Year to date, they're showing an increase as well from 0.5% up to 0.8%. Then at 3:55 a.m. Eastern, we have the German unemployment change for November being released. Of course, that will affect the euro. Currently, they're showing previous was 20K, looking for it to drop down to 16K. Then at 8:30 a.m. Eastern, we have the gross domestic product annualized for the third quarter for the U.S. That's being released 8:30 a.m. Eastern. Consensus on that one is that it's moved higher from 2.0% up to 2.8%. Now, as far as our charts, as far as what we're looking for on the day time frame, as far as ranges go, let me zoom in real quick and we'll go through it. In the U.S., let's go ahead and start with the U.S. Japanese yen pair. Japanese yen pair closed down, did make a new low. I was real surprised that it did, but did make a new low, pulled up fairly significantly, starting to move within a range. Look for it to potentially go as high as 82.44, possibly as low as 81.42. Look for some resistance around 82.35. And look for some support around 81.65. Now the Euro USD pair, it had a very long tail on it before turning around and closing higher. Look for it to potentially go as high as 130.41, possibly as low as 128.32. Look for some resistance around 130.10 and look for some support around 128.75. Now the pound US dollar pair, it had a long tail as well, did close lower. Look for it to potentially go as high as 160.93, possibly as low as 159.19. Look for some resistance around 160.55 and look for some support around 159.59. Now the US Swiss, this pair closed down, had a very tall tail on it. Basically ran right into previous areas of support that is now resistance. We are looking for it to potentially go as high as 0.9375, possibly as low as 0.9225. Look for some resistance to the upside around the 193.40 mark, and look for some support around 0.9250. Well, that pretty much wraps us up for today. Until next time, this is Jason Fielder. Good trading.